Hello there, my friends, and welcome back to Thuya Hill. I'm very glad to have you here today because today we're going to be talking about all things pantry. Now, this is likely the heart of every homemaker's kitchen. And the reason I say that is because with a well-stocked pantry, you will be able to create delicious, healthy, homemade meals from scratch without much trouble. I'd like to share with you why I think having a well-stocked pantry is so important to the homemaker. I will also be sharing with you my personal setup and then just some tips and tricks to help with storage. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay, so welcome to my pantry at Thuya Hill. This is my little miniature pantry that I have here. I am so grateful for it. It's not big and it's certainly not fancy, but it works so well for our family's needs. So we are in our laundry room right now. And in this laundry room, we have cabinets that hold paper goods and laundry products and batteries and light bulbs. This is kind of the hub of the home in terms of that type of item. Over here, way on the edge of the laundry room is my pantry. This whole area is not the pantry. Here we've got our tools. Here we've got the vacuum cleaner and the cleaning supplies like dusters and fly swatters and a little thing for plastic bags and the iron, my ironing board. All of that exists in this cabinet. In these cabinets right here, this one and this one are my pantry items. And essentially what I have in here are all the items I don't necessarily need on a daily basis. In our home, I have made two pantries. One pantry is for the things that I need every day. The other pantry, which is this pantry, holds higher quantities of items and just things I'm not going to need every day. So as you can see here in this closet pantry, I have my canned goods. Now I have an abundance of canned coconut milk, which I plan to be making coconut ice cream here really soon, so stay tuned for that video. I also keep canned tomato products on hand and maple syrup and a variety of spices. And then you can see here in these heavy-duty food grade buckets, I have a small food grade bucket that holds my sucanat and a small food grade bucket that holds popcorn. Then in this bottom container, I have my bulk sea salt. So I buy big bags of Redmond's sea salt from Azure Standard and I store them in these food grade buckets. Then over here you can see I have 4 food grade buckets stacked in the corner, and I only keep the things accessible to me that I know I'm going to be rotating out a lot. So for us, that's organic oats, organic brown rice, pinto beans, and whole einkorn berries. The einkorn berries are for grinding into flour. So these are the items that I have on hand and I utilize most frequently. I mean, this seems like an obvious fact, but I have learned from experience not to stock your pantry with things you know you won't eat, because the truth is you'll never get to them. So in here are only the bulk dry goods that I know we're going to rotate through very regularly. Then up top in this little closet right here, it's where I keep our juices and our bulk coconut oil and our bulk honeys. I keep olive oil and I keep a variety of peanut butters and jelly on hand. Our pantry is currently quite bare, so this might not be the best time to show you this, but when I have done a big pantry stock, this will be full of bulk items like lots of peanut butter and jellies, apple sauces, olive oils. Last year at this time, this cabinet up here was full to the brim. And so I have worked through most of the stuff we have. So in a little bit of time here, I'm gonna go ahead and restock it. If that is a video you'd be interested in seeing, I'd be happy to make one. You just go ahead and let me know in the comments below. All right, so now we're gonna go over to the pantry in the kitchen. As I mentioned, I have 2 pantries. I have one in the laundry room, I have one in the kitchen. The kitchen pantry is specifically for items that I am using on a daily basis. The pantry in the laundry room holds my bulk items in a bigger form. So for this pantry in the kitchen, you will see that I have paper towels and vitamins on the very top shelf. And then I have my dry goods stored in these glass airtight containers. These dry goods that I hold in here in these glass containers are just a smaller version of the big containers I have in the laundry room. I do this because I don't want to be opening a 5-gallon bucket every time I need to get some brown rice. And so I put these dry goods in these glass containers and it works really well for me. So if I need to get some brown rice, I just pull my little container off the shelf and there it is. I have an exception to my large container rule in this kitchen pantry, and that is that I keep a massive crock of flour available on hand all the time. So currently in this big crock right here, I have a 10-pound bag of einkorn flour. I took a workshop and I've been doing a lot of baking, and so to make it easy for me, I just bought a big 10-pound bag from Azure. Sometimes that's just the way to go when time needs to be saved. And I store it in this crock, and it's really heavy, but it's beautiful and stores great. Then over here in this glass container, I just have white all-purpose flour. So that is what I will use for feeding my wet sourdough and for a few other recipes. Then on this side of the pantry, we keep our beverages. So we have sparkling water and wine, and I'll sometimes have grape juice down here. And so that side is reserved for beverages. This cabinet is great. We got it from IKEA when we first moved into this house. And it has been such a blessing to me because it has so many compartments for all the areas of my pantry. So in this drawer, I keep some of my bulk spices and my sugars and my baking supplies that I need access to regularly. What I love is that they fit in here really nicely. I love keeping my baking supplies in glass jars because I feel like I can see them, they're organized, and I keep them fresh as well. So I keep my spices on the counter in these beautiful Le Parfait glass containers. The way that I store the bulk bags is in this drawer in the pantry. All of these bags exist in glass form on the counter. So for me, I'm just translating. I don't want bags all over the counter. I want things to be streamlined and easy. And so I try to minimize clutter by transferring the bulk item into smaller little glass jars. Then in the next drawer, this is kind of my canned goods / pasta drawer. I will put my cans of tomato sauce, extra jars of olives, extra jars of peanut butter and jelly, pasta, things of that nature in this drawer. When I go shopping, if I buy a big bulk load to put in my pantry, I'll put the majority of those items up here or down here. And if there's overflow and I need them, I will put them in the kitchen. So I kind of look at it like a grocery shop. This is my grocery store. When I'm running low in the kitchen, I shop in here and I take what I need from here and I bring it to the kitchen. That little pantry in the kitchen that I keep supplied is there so that my baking routine can constantly be flowing. This drawer right here is reserved for snack items. So here I keep pretzels, I buy pouches, I'll keep beef jerky sticks and food bars. I also have a little area for nuts and dried fruit like raisins and currants. So the rest of this pantry really is just storage. We don't have cabinets, we have shelving. So I keep a lot of things like cutting boards and recipe boxes in this shelf right here. We keep our teas and our coffees and our filters and our trivets in this drawer. And then below that, we have our water bottles. So I keep all the lids to my jars and our water bottles, our fermenting stones and our fermenters in this drawer. So that's the pantry in a nutshell. So let's answer the question of why the homemaker would even want an organized, well-stocked pantry. I think of the kitchen like a restaurant. As the homemaker, you are in charge for the inventory, the budget, the menu. It's your responsibility to know what you have, how much you've spent, what you have left. Do you have the ingredients to make the item you want to make? You get to really get skilled in your craft. You get to level up and work hard and get organized. So if you're struggling right now and you're floundering and you feel like you can't even get a hold of it, don't worry, my friend. There is hope. There's a lot of options and a lot of ways to get organized. But one way to do that is to look at your kitchen like a restaurant. You have to feed people many times a day, and so why not be organized? You will be able to know what you have in your pantry, if you are well stocked, and how much you've spent. And all of these factors will help you to be efficient in your kitchen. The reason a well-stocked pantry is important is because it will help you to serve your family and others well by knowing what you have. And for me, that has been a really important thing. This way, you won't be spending extra money every month by going to the grocery store and not knowing if you have this, that, or the other thing for a specific menu. And so having a well-stocked, organized pantry will keep you saving money and it will keep you organized, which is a great thing when you're trying to be a home cook. So that is it, my friends. That is my pantry over here at Thuya Hill. I would love to know how you organize your pantry. What are some tips and tricks that you have found helpful in your homemaking as it relates to pantry preparation? Please feel free to leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And as usual, thank you so much for joining me on today's video, and I look forward to seeing you in another new one very soon. Bye for now.